Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another Hot Toys Secret Base figure preview video. Before we begin, I want to say a massive thank you to Ryan Kirkwood for coming along with me in person to Secret Base and snapping these gorgeous high-res pictures. Show Ryan some love in the comments below because without him, this series literally wouldn't be possible. If you are looking to grab your very own copy of Chopper, I have popped the link to Pop Collectibles in the description below. As always, do your own research, make sure you're comfortable before buying. I have included the discount code Justin's Collection for 5% off your order if you do decide to buy from them. While you're down there, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button, so you're notified as soon as a brand new figure preview video goes live on the channel. Chopper, he is one of my favorite sassy little astromech droids. I'm a massive fan of Rebels. There were certain things I didn't like about Clone Wars. Rebels, I like all of it. Dave Filoni, he killed it with that series. And now that we have another season of Rebels, this time in live action with Ahsoka, I'm really glad we got to see Chopper back in action, just chattering away, doing his thing. You do get an accessory that's not meant for Chopper because he can't really hold it. I mean, I guess he could if you put it on one of his arms, but it's Hu Yang, a little hologram projection on a Jedi hologram projector. You could maybe give this to Ahsoka if you so choose. Or Hera, now that we know she's actually coming and she's been announced for pre-order. I do hope we eventually get the entire Ghost crew. You do get both of his arms, which are articulated and painted in this really deep gunmetal. They do attach to his head sculpt, if you can call it a head sculpt, his dome. Dome sounds a little bit better for an astromech. You also get some interchangeable panels which you can swap out onto his dome. And finally, a little radar dish. I'm not sure how this is all going to work, whether it's going to be magnets or just straight pegs or some other kind of attachment method that we haven't thought of yet. I highly doubt it's probably one of the other two. The radar dish is well sculpted, there's a lot of silver on it, and there are washers in the crevices to bring out the soft sculpted detail that is there. There isn't a ton, but there's enough that the washers do help. Chopper's color scheme is quite unique. We have silver, we have this pinkish off-white, and we have some very nice vibrant pops of orange. Plus, his design as a whole is super wacky. He's got some asymmetry going on. He's got this very dicky little front leg that looks all kinds of goofy, but it all works. It comes together to make for a very endearing little droid, and that's why I love Chopper. That's why I think we all love Chopper. You also have this subtle rust paint effect on the surface and in some of the crevices, where moisture would be collecting on a droid such as this. There are some brighter silver sections and also this bluish silver. All of it just comes together, and I was hoping that it would. And Hot Toys, at this point, they are masters when it comes to weathering. Back in the day, they did struggle for battle damaged figures and putting that speckling on the surface, making it look as good as the prototypes. Not anymore. With their clones, they have gotten better and better, and now, with their Attack of the Clones C-3PO, I have all the confidence in the world that this is going to look as good as this prototype does when we eventually get him. On the sides of his legs, they are asymmetrical in terms of design, and we've got a lot of greebly stuff going on, in multiple different colours. But then, as we work our way up the legs, another colour is introduced. Not quite silver, not quite gunmetal, more of a soft champagne rose gold. There's a warmth to it, and something about it, man. I know I've already said I like the way this guy looks, and I'm not going to repeat myself a bunch of times, at least I'm going to try not to, but I also really like the way it looks, and I wouldn't be surprised if the articulation was quite similar to what we saw with R2. I am wondering though, will the wheels roll, especially that front one? I guess that's the wheel question. I do spot some asymmetry here. You can see that he has a hose on his right leg as compared to the left leg where he doesn't. And the main bulk of the leg isn't that soft satin rose/champagne gold. It's more of an off-white, just like certain parts of his body. So this droid is very ragtag. If you've not seen Rebels and you've only just seen him for that brief second in Rogue One and then again in Ahsoka, do yourself a favor. go and watch Rebels. I reckon you're gonna like it. Yes, it's animated Star Wars, and I know it's not for everyone, but the story is solid. The Ghost Crew is a really tight-knit group of characters that become a family, essentially, and we all love stories like that, where this band of misfits, rebels, if you will, come together and form that really tight-knit group. It's a classic storytelling trope, and it works super well in this show. You've got some Jedi action, you've got some Mandalorian action, and you've got a bit of Clone Wars and prequel stuff thrown in there too. The front of Chopper is just a hodgepodge of randomness. We've got his arm up top, which can come out, then we have some wiring and some copper bits and pieces, and some soft metallic blue thrown in there for some unknown reason. You've also got some schmutz in the crevices around certain panels where dirt would collect, and you've got some yellow on one of the panels. All of this stuff you'd think wouldn't work well together, but there's something about the ragtag look for Chopper, like I've already said, that absolutely does work. It's a weird, wonderful design, and it just comes together perfectly in 1/6 scale. The white for his body isn't even actual just plain white. You can see there's a bit of a coolness to it. So it does play off the silver sections, and when they hit it with that brown dirt, it does help it stand out, whereas if the white was more of a warm tone like his right leg is, as you can see the difference between the body here and that right leg, don't think it would work as well. This guy isn't super straightforward to make in 1/6 scale. There's more that goes into it than you might think. And this is an all new mold too. They couldn't reuse any of the stuff from R2. This is a bespoke droid with a bespoke style about him. A different vibe. Now, his dome is very dissimilar to R2. It doesn't just rotate left and right, but it also pivots on an angle. As you can see right here, it tilts from side to side. And that just helps him emote, especially with those arms sticking out. You can remove them and pop those orange panels on that we saw earlier if you do want to cover up the holes on the side of his dome. The orange is quite bright, you've got some silver chipping just around the edges, some glossy black lenses, and his dome does have the radar dish sticking out of the top. Not the extended version though, this is the more collapsed version that sits a little bit closer down towards the top of his dome. I am liking the look with the arm sticking out. It does give him more personality, so in my display, yeah, I'm probably going to go with the arms on Chopper. These are articulated. It looks like there are 2 or 3 different joints at the base of it. Then where it plugs in, I wouldn't be surprised if it rotates. And you're probably going to be able to move the pincers as well. So plenty of variety when it comes to posing. Usually for Astromechs, it's standing straight up and down, with or without the stuff sticking out, speaking about R2 specifically, or with the legs sticking out, and then you can have bits and pieces coming out of him or not. With Chopper, there's way more variety. You can get way more dynamic. I'm not sure if that's the right word to use, but you know what I mean. You can give this guy much more flair just standing there versus R2, where he's a little bit harder to work with to get the most out of posing. Now, if you are looking to grab Chopper, I have popped the link to Pop Collectibles in the description below. As always, do your own research, make sure you're comfortable before buying. I've also included the discount code Justin's Collection for 5% off your order if you do decide to buy from them. While you're down there, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button if you like the sound of seeing your name in the end credits of my reviews. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll catch you in the next video.